Hey, welcome back. We have a knife here, and it's not often these days I bring budget knives on the channel. I definitely do some, but I've been focusing up market quite a bit. So this one's here for a reason, which is that I do think it's really cool. As budget knife goes, it sort of stands out to me in a few different ways, and we'll see if I was right about my hunch about buying this one. I very rarely these days buy one from Civivi, but this one caught my eye. I'll talk to you about why. So this is the Civivi Chevalier. It's got the wood handle, black hand rub Damascus. And a big part of the attraction of this to me was that hand rub Damascus blade. And what kind of just shocks me when I think this is the better side to open on these. When I look at the lineup, is it only cost like, I don't know, maybe it was on sale, but I think it was, whatever it was, when I bought it, it was only $10 more to get the hand rub Damascus blade. And I was just like, well, why would you not? I mean, look, $10 is $10. It can definitely be used for lunch. But to make this big of a impact on the feel of a knife, $10 more for that blade, that just felt like a no-brainer. This one I'm gonna have to definitely bring some additional light over here to enjoy and appreciate the knife here. But that was, in fact, I think I was down to 2 Civivis. I just sold one, so I'm down to 1. I have really not spent a lot of time or gravitated towards their knives, but I'd heard a lot of good things about this one. And first, the handles feel great. I realized for like a hard user, wood might not be ideal, but man, that is really nice looking. And I love this little fuller. So let's see if it all comes together like I hope, plus button lock. So I was really curious about that. I've only tried the Elementum version 1 button lock, and it was terrible. So let's see how this is. Wow, really nice action, and that is quite the Damascus there. It looks very different than the other one that I have. So the other one I have is the Badlands Vagabond, and I'll pull that one out. But see how the lock is. I remember the other one had a little bit of, and the Sencut Crowley that I tested, they both had a little bit of lock stick. And I feel it here too, you can even hear it. But man, the action is really good. Really good, especially for, factory. I found with the Elementum, it really needed to get broken in a little bit, but wow, that's really nice. As budget button locks go, this is the best one I've felt outside of the Pyrite. Let's see how this fuller works for the reverse. Not bad. I mean, it's pretty minimal, right? There's not a lot there. So you saw I missed it on the first try, but try again. Okay, I think I'm getting it. Can you use a thumb on that? Yeah, a little bit. It's not like super easy, but definitely have to like dig your fingernail in there to like dig it out, but it's doable. The reverse flex really good though. I just had to kind of figure out, you have to put a decent bit of pressure on it. Let's see how the centering is doing now that I'm messing around with it a little bit. Looks good still. The flipper tab is really good though. Like, it's one of the better flipper tabs I've ever used, actually. Let's see how the feel in hand is on this. I've heard people complain about this pocket clip. It is really tall and it's not flush. Unfortunately, the screws are flush within it, but you could just take the whole thing down a little bit. What I'm finding with some of these budget knives is for an extra 15, 20 bucks, you can replace the pocket clip with something that's milled or nicer or whatever. I mean, this probably functionally is really good, It's actually a little hard, but I mean, I like the bill. I like the shape. Like it probably functionally works really well. But yeah, for just a couple bucks, you can kind of get a good cosmetic upgrade. Aside from that, the feel, the size is like really nice. Like a lot, I like it a lot more than the Elementum in terms of size and the Sen Cut. The Sen Cut's just a little wonky. It's like kind of triangular and it gets a little skinny towards the end here. This feels really well balanced. Yeah, this is definitely one of the best budget knives I've experienced in the last year. I'd say this and the CGRB Pyrite, and what else? Depends where you draw the line on budget, I guess. To me, the best liner lock is the Wee Banter, but this one MSRP's at 108. So on Black Friday, you can kind of pull it for under $100, but a lot of people draw the line at $50 or $75. I think there's kind of three lines: under 100, under 75, under 50. Some people even say under 30. But this one stands out to me as really good. And then the other is the like longest standing, not the longest standing budget knife in my entire collection, but the longest standing one that I really like, I guess, which is this Badlands Vagabond. It's just really good. Really, really good. Really nice thumb stud and just a beautiful Damascus. Like that is quite a bit nicer looking even than this Chevalier. You can see how much tighter the Damascus is in the Badlands, and they just discontinued this, unfortunately. So that's not ideal. But yeah, you can see the difference. They're both really cool. But this one was, I mean, this was just shocking to me. It's a big part of why I kept it along. First, I love the handle material. It's a really nice, like, what does it call it here? A twill carbon fiber handle. Man, that is so much nicer than a lot of the more expensive carbon fiber knives that I have. It's just really nice. If this knife was button lock, that would just be off the hook. It's still really good as a liner lock though. This is like, seriously, one of my favorite knives. It's so weird to say, but it's one of my favorite knives. It's the same pocket clip, pretty much. A little different, actually. Just a little different, but yeah, you can see why I went for this. Now I've kind of got this pair, and I just think between the handles and the Damascus, they're really cool budget knives. It's just very unusual. There's my Pyrite. You can see I use it a bit. But these are some of the best, like, call them sub 100. We'll just move the Wee Banter into the sub 100 range for sake of the argument. Some of the better low end, you know, $100 or less kind of knives that I've interacted with. Really struggling to think. I mean, sometimes you can get a Demco 80-20.5 on sale for, you know, like $125 or whatever, and that would be right in there as well for me. But that's obviously getting up. At that point, you're double the price. This was like $90 or $80 or something like that, 80 or $90. $50. This is just, the button on this is still just astounding to me how good it is. The action on this knife is just unmatched. Look at that. $50. It's insane. That is like such an impressive knife. No one even, people like just talking about, oh, it's from China. Like, just, I literally take the thing about where the knife is made out, and this is such a good knife. It's just a really good knife. Like, there's just very few knives that are as good as this. I don't know what else to say. It's just a really good one. If that was titanium, I think there is that like limited version where it was titanium with like maybe a micarta inlay or something too for 100 something. But anyways, when I start thinking about like my favorite low end of my collection knives, you know, these all kind of come into play as knives that I love using. Like when I'm using these knives, I'm not like wanting a nicer knife in my hand. You know, bug outs kind of go in there too, but these start to get really expensive by comparison. I guess they're kind of similar. The Demco is, you know, similar in price, but in, you know, I guess the Hogue Deca without the scales, but that's actually the only one of this group that's US made, $127 if you have the regular scales on it, not with the goat that gets it up in the 200 range, but 190 to 200. But man, 80, 90 bucks, 80, 90 bucks, 50 bucks. You know, if you just look at those three knives, it's really pretty fantastic what Civivi and CJRB have done with that. I actually have an order with a CJRB logo in it. That's one of the other 2 budget knives I've bought this year. And I've really slowed down aside from that. Like I did QSP penguins and stuff last year and all sorts of knives, and I was really underwhelmed with most of them. They were good knives, don't get me wrong. They're solid. The the penguins, the QSPs, they're not bad, but they're just this knife. I don't mind using it. The QSP I always feel just a little awkward. This I think I'd feel the same. If this had a thumb stud, actually, it'd be like on another level for me. That's the one thing that's kind of missing. The flipper is really good, don't get me wrong, but I'm not much of a flipper guy. I'm really a thumb stud fan. Luckily you can reverse flick it out, so that's nice. But that's why, man, if this had a button lock, this would be a just disgustingly good knife. Even, you know, as a liner lock, it's still very good. So what I do really like about this is that Civivi is much more muted. Imagine if they had done that in the black. That would have taken the cosmetics on this to the next level. If that's the same size, I may have to just try and order a replacement for this and put it on this knife. Because that's like the last thing kind of missing on the cosmetics on this knife, was that C is just a little too silvery and stand out. If that was the same as that knife, and actually this knife I feel like would almost maybe even look better with that on there, kind of a little, brighten it up a little bit almost. So that could be a fun swap. But yeah, I don't know what more to say. Really impressed with what these 2 companies did on these 3 knives. And yeah, really glad to have this one in the collection. This is actually something that I'd want to keep. It's not something I just want to review for the channel, but a knife that I could see totally keeping. I think this would be a great user. I mean, the blade shape and everything. It's got a little bit of jimping. I wish I had jimping a little further forward up there for a draw cut. Kind of like the Demco goes way up there on the jimping, so you can really get nice purchase on the draw cuts. But you know, aside from that, they always do a really nice edge too. Let's put it to the test real quick. No change. Really nice edge. It's not perfect. I felt better, but it is very good. So yeah, Civivi Chevalier Damascus. I think I got that from White Mountain Knives. If you go on there, use code WMK, you'll get another 10% off. I mean, it was, I don't know, $80 shipped or something like that. That's, you know, that could be someone's only knife, and it'd be a very cool looking knife. There'd be nothing to not be proud of to have that knife. You'd just be like pulling out this nice wooden handled knife with the Damascus blade. You can reverse flick it and look cool, button lock it and look cool, and just enjoy using it. Amazingly enjoyable flipper tab. Yeah, that one gets a very high score for me. I see why you know, some people reviewed it as higher and better than other Civivis, because there are other Civivis that I don't like as much as, for instance, this one. But this one right here, man, that's going to be a long time, I think, before someone makes a Civivi for under $100 that I like more than this knife. That is just kind of in a league of its own. This is right in there, right in there. But yeah, hope you like this one. Please like and subscribe and comment. Maybe let me know what I don't know about this one, or if I missed something or said something wrong, or if there's another Civivi that you think is worth looking at, feel free to let me know. I'll get the CJRB logo video up at some point here. It's taking forever on the shipping. I ordered it more than 2 weeks ago and it's not here yet, so that's disappointing if you order off their website. Kind of regret that. I wish I had just ordered it from a dealer or something. The one thing was that I had ordered the one real shortcoming on this knife for me, it's functionally not bad, but the pocket clip just sort of feels cheap where the rest of the knife doesn't. So I ordered the milled pocket clip to go with this, and I think that'll just take this for an extra, I don't know, 15 or 20 bucks. Take this knife to like the next level. So while I was ordering that on the website, it's, by the way, it's I think pocket clip B. Double check when you're on there, but they have 4 different ones, and this one was out of stock for quite a while, and it's back in stock a couple weeks ago. I think it should still be in there today. And man, that's a really cool upgrade for this knife. If you're looking to just kind of give it that final element of fit and finish, $50, $70 with a like really nice milled pocket clip. Pretty hard to beat that. So anyways, I talk too much. I will see you on the next one, and take care.